Hello, everyone. Welcome to the theater. I don't know why you keep choosing such a far back seat. You could just sit next to me, but if you're fine back there, it's fine. I got these open seats next to me, but whatever. It's International Workers' Day, everyone. May Day, the real Labor Day. For those who don't know, Labor Day was a holiday made up by the United States government in order to stop people from celebrating the real Labor Day of May Day because it was associated with the Haymarket bombings. Um, so that's the deal with today. It's May Day, International Workers' Day. We're gonna be watching a movie, Salt of the Earth, an early independent film, one of the first fully independent films, completely separate from the Hollywood system, 1954. It's a movie about a mine, a zinc mine, I believe, in New Mexico, trying to unionize, uh, and the trials and tribulations of that. It's got some feminism. It's got some Mexican American solidarity stuff going on. It should be a good time. Now, I will note, normally for Thempire Theater, we tend to do bad movies. Not so today. This movie is going to be like a good one. Um, and the reason this one is public domain is because it's an independent film, and also it got the people who made it blacklisted from Hollywood because of the McCarthy shit. So you know, but that's we're gonna be all that said, it's not going to be as jokey as usual. There'll probably be more of me going, "Oh wow, that's a good shot," than there will be, "Whoa, look at that stupid costuming," because there's not going to be any costumes. I think there's going to be costumes, but there's not going to be like rubber suits. You know what I'm saying? So just like keep that in mind. And with that said, let's get started. The International Union of Mine Mills and Smelter Workers present. See, this has literal union support. Rosar Revueltas, Juan Chacon. This music is interesting. Our scene is New Mexico, land of the free Americans who inspired this film, home of the brave Americans who played most of its roles. Okay.
How shall I begin my story that has no beginning? In these arroyos, my great-grandfather raised cattle before the Anglos ever came. Our roots go deep in this place, deeper than the pines, deeper than the mine shafts.
Can you guys hear that? Is it too quiet?
This is my village. When I was a child, it was called San Marcos. The Anglos changed the name to Zinktown. Zinktown, New Mexico, USA.
No subtitle. Oops.
This is our home. The house is not ours, but the flowers. And the flowers are ours. My name is Esperanza. Esperanza Quintero. I am a miner's wife. 18 years my husband has given to that mine.
How about that?
Living half his life with dynamite and darkness.
That should help.
The land where the mine stands, that was owned by my husband's own grandfather. Now it belongs to the company. Who can say when it began? My story. I do not know. But this day I remember as the beginning of an end. It was my saint's day. I was 35 years old. A day of celebration. And I was 7 months gone with my third child. And on that day I remember I had a wish. A thought so sinful, a thought so evil, that I prayed to the Virgin to forgive me for it. I wished that my child would never be born. No, not into this world.
Are you sick, Mama?
No, Estelita.
Are you sad? Are we going to church for your confession?
Fighting again. With those Anglo kids.
Oh, they think they're tough.
But you promised me you wouldn't.
Papa says if an Anglo makes fun of you, to let him have it.
Never mind what you, Papa. Hold still. Does it hurt?
Nah. How come the cake?
Never mind the cake. Go get your father when he comes off shift. Tell him to come straight home.
Here you had a little trouble, Quintero. Defective fuse? Well, you're all in one piece, so what's the beef?
You know the beef. This new rule of yours that we work alone. We're taking it up with the super.
Super's busy with your negotiating committee.
So much the better.
Now, wait a minute. Super's the one made the rule. He ain't gonna give you no help.
He will if he wants us to go on blasting.
Read your contract. Get somebody to read it for you. You don't say nothing about no help.
Listen, Mr. Barton, there's blood in that mine. The blood of my friends, all because they had to work alone.
That's how you get splattered over the rocks, when there's nobody to help you check your fuse.
And nobody to warn the other men to stay clear.
Warning's a shift foreman's job.
Foreman wants to get the ore out. Miner wants to get his brothers out, in one piece.
You work alone, savvy? You can't handle a job, I'll find someone who can.
Who, a scab?
An American.
There's the same difference.
Mama.
Not a word about the cake here.
Papa, is there going to be a strike?
Ramon, I don't like to bother you, but the store lady said that if we don't make another payment on the radio this month, they'll come and take it away. We are only one payment behind. I argued with her. It isn't right.
It isn't right, you say. Was it right that we bought this instrument? But you had to have it, didn't you? It was so nice to listen to.
I listened to it every night when you were out at the beer parlor.
No money down. Easy term payment. I tell you something. This installment plan, it's a curse of the working man.
It's a huge ass radio.
Where are you going?
Gotta talk to the brothers. This water's cold again.
Oh, I'm sorry, the fire's gone out.
Forget it.
Forget it? I chop wood for the stove 5 times a day, every time I remember. I remember that across the tracks, the Anglo miners have hot water in pipes, and bathrooms, inside.
Do you think I like living this way? What do you want of it?
But if your union... If you're asking for better conditions, why can't you ask for decent plumbing, too?
We did. got lost in the shuffle.
What?
We can't get everything at once. Right now, we have more important demands.
What's more important than sanitation?
Safety of the men. That's more important. 5 accidents this week. All because of speed up. You're a woman. You don't know what it's like up there.
Gender.
First, we gotta get equality on the job. Then we'll work on these other things. Leave it to the men.
I see. The men. Your strike may be for your demands, but what wives want, that comes later, always later.
Now, don't you start talking against the union again.
What has it got me, your union?
Esperanza, have you forgotten what it was like before the union came? When Estella was a baby and we couldn't even afford a doctor when she was sick? It was for our families we met in graveyards to build that union.
All right, have your strike. I'll have my baby. But no hospital will take me because I'll be a striker's wife. The store will cut off our credit and the kids will go hungry. We'll get behind on the payments again. And then they'll come and take away the radio.
Is that all you care about? That radio? Can't you think of anything except yourself?
If I think of myself, it's because you never think of me. Never, never.
Stop it. The children are watching. Stop it.
That's a problem. It has to be taken care of. The company will always tell you those things. We know it's not safe for miners to work alone.
But they don't work alone in other mines. Anglo's always work in pairs. So why should I risk my life? Because I'm a Mexican?
That's in the demands. We're negotiating.
3 months of negotiations. Nothing happens.
Even with Brother Barnes here from the International, what have we got?
No raise, no seniority, no safety code, nothing.
Take a drink. Cálmate.
I say we gotta take action. Now.
Rest of men feel the way you do?
He talks for all of us.
Did you ever stop to think maybe they want us to strike?
Don't horse me.
Not with a war boom on.
Then why is the company hanging tough? They signed contracts with the other locals. Why not this one?
Because most of us here are Mexican-American. Because we want equality with Anglo miners. The same pay, same conditions.
Exactly. And equality's the one thing the bosses can't afford. The biggest club they have over the Anglo locals is, well, at least you get more than the Mexicans.
Okay. So discrimination hurts the Anglo too. But it hurts me more. And I've had enough of it.
But you don't pull a strike when the bosses want it, so they can smash your union. You wait till you're ready so you can win.
Do the bosses wait? No sanitation. So my kids get sick. Does the company doctor wait? $20. So we miss one payment on the radio I bought from my wife. Does the company store wait? Pay or we take it away. Why is the boss's store in such a hurry? They're trying to scare us, that's why. To make us afraid to move. To hang on to what we got and like it. Well, I don't like it. And I'm not scared. And I'm fed up to here.
Hey, Ramon, te buscan.
What are you doing here? Something wrong with Mama?
I thought maybe you forgot.
Forgot what?
It's Mama Saint's Day.
What a kid. He can't wait. It's my wife's Saint's Day. I was going to ask you brothers, how about a mañanita, huh?
What time?
Well, mañanita, the later the better.
This is already really interesting. Also, that's pretty rough, Ferret Lord.
Why are they singing?
They are singing for me.
Can we light the candles?
Yes. Now we can light the candles.
Oh, hell yeah. Bevs.
I did not mean to weep again. Why should I weep for joy?
I'm a fool.
No, you aren't. Was it expensive, the beer?
Antonio paid for it.
Forgive me for saying you never thought of me.
I did forget. Luis told me.
Honest man.
All the next week, I kept thinking about my mañanita. I had never had so nice a party. It was like a song running through my mind.
1, 2, 3.
A daydream to lighten the long day's work. We all forgot our troubles at the mañanita. Even Ramon. I couldn't dance that night, not in my condition. But I wasn't really jealous when he danced with the others, because it was good just to see him smile again. And then one morning, I was hanging out my wash. And while we were talking, the ladies came.
The ladies.
Kind of delegation. It was about the sanitation, they said. The Anglo miners have bathrooms and hot running water. Why shouldn't we? I know. I spoke to Ramon about it only a week ago. He said they dropped it from the union demands.
Es lo de siempre. We've got to make him understand. Make the man face up to him. Show her the sign. We'll make a lot of signs like these. Then we'll get all the wives together and go right up to the mine.
To the mine?
Sure. Where they're negotiating in the company office, we'll go up there and picket the place.
Then both sides will see women business. A picket line of ladies?
Sure. Why not? You can count me in.
Luz.
Listen, we ought to be in a wood choppers union. Chop wood for breakfast, chop wood, wash his clothes, chop wood, heat the iron, chop wood, scrub floors, chop wood, cook his dinner. And do you know what he will say when he comes home? What have you been doing all day? Reading funny papers? Come on, Esperanza. How about it? We got to.
No. I can't. If Ramon ever found me in a picket line...
He'd what, beat you?
No. Accidente.
Is her husband okay? I like that, picking her up for a bit and then putting her down again. It's like, which way is easier to get there faster?
How did this happen?
They wandered into a drift when that fellow was blasted. I told you it would happen. It's bound to happen when a man works alone.
Why didn't you give the man a warning signal?
Your foreman says that's a foreman's job. Well, I checked the drift just before he blasted. It was all clear. The man must have been asleep or something. You weren't even there. You were back at the station. Kalinsky told me. You're a liar, Pancho. A no-good, dirty... You there!
You there! Get a hold on yourself. A man's been hurt. I'm as sorry about it as you are, savvy?
Savvy?
Accidents are costly to everyone. To the company, most of all. Now, I see no reason to treat the occasion like a paid holiday. Suppose we all get back to work. Pardon?
All right, fellas, the excitement's over. Let's get to it.
Order? Yo creo. Sí. What are they saying?
No savvy.
Well, Barnes, what about it? Tell the men to get back to work.
They don't work for me. I work for them.
Luis.
It's up to you, brothers.
See.
I agree, Ferret Lord. Strike time, motherfuckers. Ooh, these shots are nice. This is so cool. Whoa, that's a good shot. Holy fuck.
That night, the men held a union meeting just to make the walkout official. It didn't take them long. They voted to strike 93 to 5. And Teresa said, now was the time for us to go in. I didn't want to. I had never been to a union meeting. But the others said, one go, all go.
Tenemos varios agravios, hermanos, y muchas demandas. Pero todo esto se puede traer a un punto básico, la igualdad.
The meeting was nearly over when we came in. Charlie Vidal was making a speech.
Pero sobre todo esto,
He said there was only one issue in this strike, equality. But the mine owners would stop at nothing to keep them from getting equality. He said the bosses would try to split the Anglo workers and the Mexican-American workers and offer rewards to one man if he would sell out his brother.
Hermanos, solamente hay una defensa contra de esta táctica. Y esto es unidad. La unidad de todos los hombres trabajadores.
Yes, you ladies have an announcement?
Well, not an announcement, I guess. Only the ladies wanted me to...
Louder! Consuelo, will you speak from over here?
The ladies have been talking about sanitation. And we were thinking if the issue is equality, like you say it is, then maybe we ought to have equality in plumbing too. I mean, maybe we could make it a strike demand. Some of the ladies thought it might be a good idea to have a ladies' auxiliary. Well, we'd like to help out if we can.
Yeah. Ladies Auxiliary.
I think I can speak for all the brothers in saying we appreciate the ladies offering to help. But it's getting late, and I suggest that we table it. The chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I so move. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Just a question of when.
Why didn't you support her? You're the worst of the lot.
But Teresa, you can't push these things too fast.
You were pushing her right, pushing us right back in our place.
Why didn't you check this thing with me? It's embarrassing.
At least you didn't make a fool of yourself like Consuelo.
It's not a bad idea to make sanitation one of our demands.
But honey.
Or why don't you just put a sign outside? No dogs, no women, allowed.
Crazy that this kind of movie gets you in trouble with. It's obviously still pro-union, but like, it really isn't just like purely pro-union. It is definitely trying to show all sides of the union, even the nasty parts that we don't like to think about as much.
And so it began.
Particularly the more
Much
liberal
like any
unions.
other strike. There would be no settlement, the company said, till the men returned to their jobs. But the back-to-work movement didn't work. And so the company recruited a few strike breakers from out of town. But they usually lost their nerve when they saw the size of the picket line.
I mean, that's not actually a very large picket line, but okay.
The sheriff's men were always there. They stood around showing off their weapons. But the men only marched, day after day, week after week. At first it was an unwritten rule that women stay at home. The union gave us rations, and we had to figure out how to feed our families on them. But then one morning, Mrs. Salazar went to the picket line. Her husband had been killed in a strike many years before, and she wanted to be there. Nobody remembers just how it happened. But one day, Mrs. Salazar started marching with them. And she kept on marching with them. After a while, some of the other women began to bring coffee for their husbands. And maybe a couple of tacos. Because a man gets tired and hungry on picket duty. It was about that time the union decided maybe they'd better set up a ladies' auxiliary, after all. I didn't come to the lines at first. My time was near. And besides, Ramon didn't approve. But Ramon is a man who loves good coffee. And he swore the other ladies made it taste like zinc sludge. So one day,
what the fuck?
I made the coffee.
A good cup of coffee is all it takes to solve sexism.
Prieto, Sebastian Prieto. Haven't seen him for 3 days now.
Hey, Ramon, listen to this.
Chief foreman come to me last night, said he'd make a shift foreman out of me if I start back to work movement. Jenkins, why string along with them tamale eaters? I just said I come like tamales fine.
Two scabs got through on the other side of the hill. We chased the rest back.
Recognize them?
Anglos from out of town. But they're not miners, I could tell that. They don't know zinc from Chinola.
Okay, take 5. Get yourself a cup of coffee.
Hey, Ramon, here comes the super.
The evil super theme.
Morning. How's it going? Well, those new fellas you hired from out of town, we brought 'em up here by truck this morning. They took one look at that picket line, turned tail.
They don't look so rough to me.
Well, Mr. Hartwell, they've got some pretty tough hombres there. Especially that picket captain, what's his name? Raymond something or other.
Oh, yes, I know that one. That's their main picket line. They have another post on the back road. And roving patrols all over the place. On company property? Why don't you have them thrown off? It's all company property, Mr. Hartwell. The store, the housing area, everything. Where are you going to throw them? And who does the throwing? Well, are they going to let us pass? Eventually. This is just a little ritual to impress us with their power.
Now, why don't you let this gentleman pass? Don't you know who's in that car?
It's the paymaster from Moscow with our gold.
No. It's the president of the company himself. Come all the way out here to make Jenkins general manager. So why are you acting so mean?
Childish. Well, they're like children in many ways. Sometimes you have to humor them, and sometimes you have to take their food away. Oh, here comes the one that we're talking about. He's quite a character. Claims his grandfather once owned the land where the mine is now.
Want to go up to your office, Mr. Alexander?
Naturally. You think I parked here for a cup of coffee?
You're welcome to one.
No, thanks.
The men would like to know who this gentleman is.
That's none of their affair. It's all right. It's no secret. My name's Hartwell. I'm from the company's eastern office.
You mean Delaware?
No, New York.
New York? You're not the company president by any chance?
No.
Too bad. The men have always wanted to take a look at the president. You come out here to settle the strike.
Well, if that's possible.
It's possible. Just negotiate.
Are we talking to a union spokesman? Well, not exactly. But I wish he were one. He knows more about mining than those pie cards we've had to deal with. I mean it. I know your work record. You were in line for foreman when this trouble started. Did you know that? Yes, sir, you had a real future with this company. But you let those Reds stir you up, and now they'll sell you down the river. Why don't you wake up, Ray? Huh?
Ray?
That's your name, isn't it, Ray?
My name is Quintero. Mr. Quintero.
They gonna let us pass, or do I have to call the sheriff?
There's nothing stopping you. I was wrong. They don't want Jenkins for general manager. They want me. You should have heard that fellow. What a line. I was up for a foreman, he says. Fíjate. What's the matter?
It's nothing. Just a little cut.
Papa! Over here!
Is that Luis? What is he doing? Playing hooky again? Luis! Come back here!
Papa, we've seen them. 2 scabs over there. They're hiding over there in the gully.
Get their asses. Get their asses.
Hold it, brothers. You, Antonio, Alfredo, Chente, come with me. The rest of you stay on the line.
God, we need to be making movies like this again. Like, there's no union movies. Like, when you think about it, when was the last time you saw a movie about unions? Fuck. (1954), apparently.
Sebastian Prieto.
Ramon, listen to me.
For the love of God. You! I'd expect it of an Anglo, yes.
Ramon, I'm in
but
jail.
you,
I had to get a job.
you, Judas. Black sucker.
Ramon, my kids.
Tú, traidor a tu gente, rompehuelgas,
My kids don't have enough to
desgraciado.
eat.
You think my kids have enough to eat, you rat?
I know it's wrong. Just let me go. I live down. Just let me go.
You think I was gonna work you over? I wouldn't dirty my hands on you.
Luis! The baby! Get the women, quick!
Why do you stop? Want to have a little talk with you where you slugged that fella back there.
But that's a lie, I didn't.
Now, you know that's no way to talk to a white man.
No, go back and get a blanket, Junior, so we can carry her.
Hey, Vance, I thought you said this bullfighter was full of pepper. Don't look so peppery now.
Oh, but he is. He's full of chili, this boy. He likes it hot. His Chiquita makes it good and hot for him, don't she, Poncho?
Sheriff, we need a doctor quick. There's a woman gonna have a baby. You take me for an ambulance driver? This is a company doctor. We don't have a car if you'll just get him. Are you kidding? Company doctor won't come to no picket line.
We can get her home. There isn't time. Take her inside.
Hold your head up, Poncho. That's no way to sit.
I'll outlive you all, you lice.
How's that? What's that big dog?
Forgive me for wishing this time would never be born.
¡Ay, madre! Dios ten compasión.
Have mercy on this child. Let the child live.
¡Ay! ¡Oh, my God! ¡Esperanza! ¡Ramón!
Wow.
Ramon was in the hospital for a week, and then in the county jail for 30 days, charged with assault and resisting arrest. But I made up my mind to postpone the christening till he got out of jail. We christened him Juan. That night, we had a double celebration. Juanito's christening, Ramon's homecoming. And we put all the children to sleep in the bedroom, as usual. And the men took over the parlor, as usual.
$5,000. That beats.
Raise it 10,000.
Dog. All right, let's see him.
Jesus, Lord. Come to Papa.
Here's those deputies logged Chente.
Yeah, been lots of provocation lately. They figure if they can lock up the leadership on some phony charge, maybe they can bust the strike.
Are we gonna let them play poker all night? I want to dance.
With whose husband?
With any of them, even my own.
If you dance with my husband, you'll have to put up with this.
Hello? Hello? Girls moment, girls moment, girls moment, girls moment.
And another thing, your attitude towards Anglos. If you're going to be a leader...
What attitude?
You lump them all together. Anglo workers and Anglo bosses.
He's a guest in my house, isn't he?
You're even suspicious of him.
Maybe. I think he's got a few things to learn about our people.
Go on. Spill it.
Well, you're the organizer. You work out strike strategy, and most of the times you're dead right. But when you figure everything the rank and file's to do down to the last detail, you don't give us anything to think about. Are you afraid we're too lazy to take initiative?
You know I don't think that.
Maybe not. But there's another thing. Like when you came in tonight, I heard you ask your wife, who's that? His grandfather? That's Juarez, the father of Mexico. If I wouldn't know a picture of George Washington, you would say I was an awful dumb Mexican.
I've never seen it fail. Try to give Ramon a friendly criticism, and he kicks it right back in your face. No, he's right. I've got a lot to learn.
That guy's an ally.
Makes you feel any better, he's got even less use for women.
What are they talking about in there? Discussing each other's weaknesses.
I didn't know they had any.
Right now, Ramon's on the receiving end.
If we shut out the women from the life of the
Come
union...
on, Bet. Let's break up that game.
We can't think of them just as housewives, but as partners. And we have to treat them as such.
Well, look who's talking. The New World champion of women's rights.
Oh, cut it out.
Got his ass.
Me, I'm a camp follower, following his organizer from one mining camp to another. Montana, Colorado, Idaho. But does he ever think to organize the women? No. Wives don't count in the Anglo-locals either. Not that I like the way you treat your wife, Ramon. I think you're all wrong. But when Dr. Barnes here gives you his cure-all for female problems, just ask him if he's tried it at home.
Hey, Esperanza.
Esperanza's nursing the baby.
There goes the game. Good. Controller, turn off the radio. Come on, Papa. On your feet.
Get his ass.
Look at him. A fighter, huh?
He was born fighting and born hungry.
Drink. Drink, Juanito. You'll never have it so good.
He'll have it good. Someday. What were they saying about you in there?
They say I'm not good to you.
You are no good to me in jail.
I'd lie in my cell in my cot and I couldn't sleep. With the bugs and the stink and the heat. And I'd say to myself, think of something nice. Something beautiful. Then I'd think of you. And my heart would pound against the cot for love of you. Not just Juanito. You'll have it good too, Esperanza. We're gonna win this strike.
What makes you so sure?
Because if we lose more than a strike. We lose the union, and the men know it. And if we win more than a few demands. We win something bigger. Hope. Hope for our kids. Juanito can't grow strong on milk alone.
Is this the Quintero place?
What do you want?
We've got a court order.
You can come in here without a warrant.
We got the warrant, too. We don't want no trouble. All we want is this radio here. We hate to break in on you folks like this, but this here fella owns a radio store, and he got himself a repossession order.
Don't touch it.
We don't want no trouble with you, Quintero. We got orders to repossess this machine.
I said don't touch it.
Let him take it.
Over my dead body.
I don't want your dead body. I don't want you back in jail either.
But it's yours. I won't let them.
Can't you see they want to start a fight so they can lock you all up at one time?
What are
you so sad about? Well, let's have some real music.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, okay, that's all we get. There's a couple of chords. Okay, that's fine.
It went on into the 4th month, the 5th, the 6th. The company still refused to negotiate. They printed lies about us in their newspapers. They said that all the Mexicans ought to be sent back where they came from.
How can I go back where I come from? The shack that I was born in is buried under company property.
Why don't nobody ever tell the bosses to go back to where they come from?
There wouldn't be any bosses in the state of New Mexico if they did.
Brother, live to see the day.
Mean we're going to let people like Jenkins stay here?
You can't send him back to Oklahoma. It would be inhuman. But I was born in Texas.
Oh, no.
That's even worse.
Oh,
And
this
the
movie's
7th
cute
month came.
sometimes.
We couldn't buy food at the company store. By now, the strike fund was nearly gone. A few families couldn't take it any longer. And where they went, we do not know. And so, it was decided by the union that hardship cases should seek work in other mines. The strikers who found jobs divided their pay with the union, so the rest of us might eat. Ramon was not a hardship case. Only 3 children to feed. Even so, the mine owners might have starved us out, were it not for the help we got from our international in Denver and from the other locals. And we, who thought no one outside our county knew of our troubles or cared if they did know, found we were wrong. Letters came from our own people of the Southwest, from far away, Butte, Chicago,
Butte, Montana.
Birmingham, New York. Messages of solidarity and the crumpled dollar bills of working men. We women were helping, and not just as cooks and coffee makers. A few of the men made jokes about it, but the work had to be done, so they let us stay. No one knew how great a change it was, till the day of the crisis. The sheriff was smiling, so we knew he brought bad news. The company had got a court injunction ordering the strikers to stop picketing. A Taft-Hartley injunction, they called it. It meant heavy fines and jail sentences for the strikers if they disobeyed.
Fuck.
A decision had to be made at once, whether to obey the order or not.
If we obey the court, the strike will be lost. The scabs will move in as soon as our picket line is gone. If we defy the court, our pickets will be arrested, and the strike will be lost anyway. So there it is, brothers. The bosses have us coming and going. I just want to say this. No matter how you decide, the International will back you up as it's always backed you up. This is a democratic union. The decision is up to you.
Brother Sherman, if we give up now, if we obey this rotten Taft-Hartley, we are fools and cowards. There is only one way. Fight them. Fight them all.
Come on. We don't gain nothing.
They'll arrest us. Que nos arresten. Es todo lo que les preocupa. ¿No se dan cuenta que están arrestando a nuestra unión?
¿Qué nos vamos a esconder tras de las naguas de nuestras mujeres?
The men quarreled. They made brave speeches. But it seemed that Brother Barnes was right. The company had them coming and going. It seemed the strike was lost.
Brother Chairman, if you read the court injunction carefully, you will see that it only prohibits striking miners from picketing.
Oh.
We women are not striking miners.
Oh.
We will take over your picket line. Don't laugh. We have a solution, you have none. Brother Quintero was right when he said we'll lose 50 years of gains. He will lose his strike. Your wife and children, too. But this we promise. If women take your places on the picket line, the strike will not be broken, and no scabs will take your job.
Ad break
That's a
incoming.
motion. Only members of the union can make a motion.
I so move.
Second. You have heard the motion. The floor is open for debate.
We'll pause here as a little cliffhanger, I guess, and then we'll go BRB, and I'll be back in a bit after the ads are over. See you in a sec.
On a June night in 1980, Friday the 13th, 12 counselors at Camp Crystal Lake were murdered. Why should Friday the 13th, 1981 be any different? The terror continues. Friday the 13th, Part 2, from Paramount Pictures, rated R, under 17, not admitted without parent.
And we're back. Back to the movie.
Presidente.
Si permitimos que nuestras mujeres se mezclen en este asunto, nos vamos a convertir en la burla de todo el movimiento obrero.
Hermano, te equivoco. Las hermanas pueden ayudarnos a nosotros. Ellas no se manchan con
Miss Bronze, could you translate for me, please?
Son nuestras compañeras y pueden participar en esta
Luz asked which was worse, to hide behind a woman's skirt or go down on his knees before the boss.
Brothers, we don't count enough on our women. The bosses don't count on them at all.
Will the bosses win now? Because there is no unity between the men, their wives, and their sisters?
Carlota Sanchez said she didn't think picketing was proper for ladies. It wasn't nice, maybe even a sin.
I say let's give the sisters a chance.
And what will happen when the cops come and beat our women up? Are we gonna stand there and watch them? No. We'll take over anyway. And we'll be right back where we started. Only worse. Even more humiliated. Brothers, I beg you, don't allow this.
Call the question.
All right. The questions have been called. You brothers know what you are voting on. That the sisters of the auxiliary take over the picket line. All those in favor will so signify.
Brother Chairman, point of order.
Get his ass, get his ass, get his ass.
I don't know anything about these questions of parliament. You men are voting on something the women are to do or not to do. So I think it's only fair if the women be allowed to vote. Especially if they have to do the job.
Brothers and sisters, it would be unconstitutional to permit women to vote at a union meeting.
If there's no objection, we could adjourn this meeting.
No. Wait. And reconvene this meeting as a community mass meeting with every adult entitled to a vote.
I so move.
All right. On the motion to adjourn, all those in favor will raise their hands. All those opposed? The ayes have it. Now every adult is entitled to a vote.
On the original question.
All those in favor that the sisters take over the picket line will so signify by raising their hands.
They gotta count. They gotta count.
All those opposed?
The suspense.
The motion has carried 103 to 85.
Why?
And so they came, the women. They came from Singtown.
There's weirdly
and
dramatic
the hills
music there.
beyond,
Like,
from other mining
a bad
camps.
thing happened.
Women we had never seen before. Women who had nothing to do with the strike. Somehow they heard about the women's picket line, and they came. And the men came too. I think they were afraid. afraid the women wouldn't stand fast. Or maybe afraid they would. But not all the women went to the picket post. Some were forbidden by their husbands.
It's not fair. I should be there with them. After all, I'm the one who got the women the vote.
The union don't run my house. Those Anglo-Danes stirred you up to make fools of yourself. But you don't see any of them down there.
Yes, I do. There's Ruth Barnes.
She's the organizer's wife. She's gotta be there.
No, she wants to be there. And there is Mrs. Kalinsky.
There's Jenkins' wife. You don't see her on no picket line.
Anglo husbands can also be backward.
Can be what?
Backward.
Get his ass, get his ass, get his ass.
Can't I even put in an appearance?
With a baby in your arms?
The baby likes to be walked. It helps him birth.
Hey, girls, wait a minute. Don't you want to leave our pistol?
Shut up.
What's so amusing? F1 or your court order?
Oh, I'm not so sure about that, Mr. Alexander. Better the law, you know. All that injunction says is there's no picketing by minors.
Whose side are you on, anyway?
Don't get excited. They'll scatter like quail.
Well, let's get at it before another 100 Dane shows up.
All right, boys.
What about these?
Forget it. They'll scatter like quail.
Wow. Got his ass. Got his ass.
Why are you standing there? Do something.
Relax.
But women are getting hurt. We've got to take over.
They're doing all right. Anyway, looks like you got your hands full.
Yeah.
Papa, I'm hungry.
So am I. Where's your mama?
She's coming. Charlie the dog gave her a lift. Boy, did you see the way Mama worked that deputy? Knocked the gun right
I don't
out
want
of
you
him.
hanging around there. Here? You all right?
Sure.
She's got a little bit of that woman's lib in her.
Must have been some experience for you, huh?
Yes.
I guess you got enough today to last you a lifetime.
I'm going back tomorrow.
Listen, you might get hurt.
I might.
If you think I'm going to play nursemaid from now on, you're crazy. I've had these kids all day.
I've had them since the day they were born.
I'm telling you, I don't stay home with these kids tomorrow.
Okay. And tomorrow, I take the kids with me to the picket line.
Get his ass. Get his ass. Get his ass.
And so I came back the next day, and every day for the next month. I kept Juanito in the coffee shack, and when the weather was good and there was peace on the line, I brought his crib outside. Estela played with the little one, and Luis was in school. Ramon came every day, just watching. The ladies, well, they criticized Ramon for not keeping the kids.
The thing they don't tell you about strikes is that they're actually fun too.
For a while, the
I'm so
sheriff's
glad it
men
portrays
left us
that.
alone. But then they cursed us, insulted us, called us foul names. It started again. They used tear gas again. This time the rain was against us, and I took the baby away from the danger, as we had planned. We spread out as we had planned. But they couldn't break our line. They couldn't break it.
Well? I've tried everything but shooting them down.
You haven't tried locking them up.
You want them all arrested?
No. Just the ringleaders, the fire eaters. The ones with big families. Barton, where's that boy?
Hey, you. Come here.
All right, girls. I'm going to give you a choice.
No pronouns.
Mouthpiece would never be pronoun
Take it to
people.
follow still, Grandra.
No ifs, ands, or buts. Get off the picket line or get arrested. Okay. Point them out.
That one, Teresa Vidal. She's the leader.
You're under arrest. Home of the Huskow. What's that be?
Keep marching, sisters. Let's show some discipline. But Teresa, they'll charge us with resisting arrest. Keep marching, sisters. Keep marching.
Mrs. Salazar, the old one. Shana Diaz, that one in the blue dress. Luz Morales, that one. Mrs. Kalinsky, the Anglo. Ruth Barn, she's the organizer's wife. And Lala Alvarez, the pretty one. And that one. With the baby? She's Ramon Quintero's wife. He doesn't like her being here.
You take care of the baby, Esperanza. Don't worry about Juanito. We can take care of Stella, too.
No, the baby stays with me.
They said they weren't going to arrest them all, but they sure did arrest like half of them.
Just like a tree that's standing by the water.
I told you 10 times. We have no food. We have no beds. We have no beds. So will you please, please, shut up?
He can't drink this milk. It will make him sick. It's on a formula. I was a fool. I shouldn't...
Don't you worry. We'll get some extra. The baby can't drink this store milk. We want his formula.
You want the what?
The formula, the formula.
We want the formula. We want the formula. We want the formula. We want the formula.
Oh, what are you doing, boy? What are you doing, my guy?
Well, you can get the JP to swear out peace bonds, or you can ice the bail high enough to keep him in jail.
Keep him? What am I supposed to do? Feed him out of my own pocket?
What I want to know, Mr. Hartwell, is when are you going to settle this thing? You won't negotiate with him? What do you want anyway?
Company has other minds. You've got to see the larger picture. Once these people get out of hand...
Is he realizing that, like, them being in jail is costing them so much money it's gonna screw them over?
What you doing here? Ain't you seen enough of me?
I come for my kids. They're in your jail.
But you've played every trump in your hand. They're not dead yet.
Not every trump.
Such as what?
I can't shut them dames up. They keep yelling about a formula.
What?
A formula for the baby or something. His kid.
Now, looky here. I got you some milk for the baby, so what's all the belly aching about?
That milk is no good. Queremos la fórmula. Queremos la fórmula. Queremos la fórmula. If Juanito gets sick, you'll be responsible.
I am not running a drugstore. You girls got only yourselves to blame for this. You could be back with your families in an hour. All you got to do is to sign a pledge not to go back on the picket line.
Don't sign nothing for the stinker. No, no, no. We want the formula. We want the formula. We want the formula. We want the formula.
Where'd that fella go?
Hey, Poncho, come here.
Queremos comida. Queremos camas. Queremos baños. Queremos comida. Queremos
Oh, he's doing the fucking wife chores. He's learning.
Will you kids get out of those baskets?
¿Cómo va? Esto no tiene fin. 3 hours just to heat enough water to wash this stuff. I'm telling you something. If this strike is ever settled, which I doubt, I'll never go back to work for that company unless they install hot running water for us. Should have been a union demand from the beginning.
You're telling me?
They're learning.
Like Charlie Vidal says, there's 2 kinds of slavery. Wage slavery and domestic slavery. A woman's question, he calls it.
Woman question.
Yeah? The problem is what to do about it.
So? What does he want to do about them?
He says give him equality. Equality is in jobs, equality is in homes, and also sex equality.
What do you mean, sex equality?
You know, lo que es bueno para el hombre es bueno para la mujer. He's some organizer, that Charlie. He can sure organize a wife right out of your home.
Papa, can't I leave now? There's a meeting of the junior shop stewards.
The what?
The junior shop stewards. There's lots of ways we can help.
Don't I have enough troubles without them shipping you up to reform school?
But you need all the help you can get.
You've got a helper around the house.
But you've got me doing everything. Mama never used to make me dry the dishes.
You should have a helper without being asked.
Hasta mañana.
How do you feel?
I'm okay.
4 nights. How did you sleep?
We raised so much fuss, they finally brought Katze. I nearly lost my voice bride yelling so much. But I was telling Katze, the baby.
They're asleep.
He's gonna just go.
You have to find a blaster to go back to the picket line.
No, we wouldn't do it.
But if you go back, they'll lock you up again.
No, the sheriff's had enough of us. We're driving crazy.
Buenas noches, Luz. Hi, Luz. ¿Qué tal, Teresa? Hello. Well?
It's all set. Consuelo Squad can take the day off tomorrow. We're taking over.
All right. We'll work it out.
We've got to have a talk, you and me.
All right. But later, we have got a meeting now.
A meeting?
Yes, to plan for the picket line tomorrow. You can sit in if you want.
Who's available?
China's husband is out of town on that delegation to see the governor.
And there are a whole lot of men going on a fuel hunting expedition tomorrow. 30 or 40 of them. So their wives are out too.
But we can ask them to keep our kids for the rest of us.
What are we going to do about him, Esperanza?
It's about time he was housebroken. Maybe the delegation of us talk to him. I have to work it out with him myself.
Let's get jazzy in here. Sexist men have the blues. We're swinging in the high.
I got a friend. He's got a friend in the Bureau of Mines. You know what he says? They ain't never gonna open that mine up again.
How come?
Oh, he says the oars run out. So help.
Bull. Lot of bull. That's a rich man. I know. What's the difference? They'll never settle with us. Never.
Hey, what you know? It's him. It's him, el presidente. The president of the company.
Let me see this. Listen to this. Man of distinction, J. Hamilton Miller, financier, business executive, board chairman of Continental Tractors, and president of Delaware Zinc Incorporated. Wait a minute now, some more. An enthusiastic sportsman and expert marksman, Mr. Miller manages to find time every year for an African safari. He leaves this month for Kenya, where he hopes to bag his 13th lion.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to frame this. Look, Ramon.
Gotta look at the larger picture.
So the guy's a lion hunter.
What you expect him to hunt? Rabbits? Boy, oh boy, would I like to get me some venison. I ain't tasted meat in 4 weeks.
How about it, Ramon? Let's take off for a couple of days, huh?
Why ask me? Am I running this strike? If you want permission to go over the hill, go ask the ladies' auxiliary.
I waited up till midnight.
You weren't waiting for me.
That meeting only lasted 10 minutes. The first night I am home, you run to the beer parlor. What is it? Can't you bear the sight of me?
Be still.
But you wanted to talk. Tell me. Tell me.
We can't go on this way. I just can't go on living with you. Not this way.
No, we can't go on this way. We can't go back to the old way either.
The old way? What's your new way? What's it mean? You're right to neglect your kids?
Get his ass, 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 get his ass.
Where are you going?
Hunting.
When?
Sun up.
Alone?
No.
Ramon, you can't.
Why not? I'm not needed here.
But you are needed. Especially now with most of the other men away. You are the captain of the standby squad.
Sure, the standby squad. Stand by for the funeral.
Whose funeral? We are doing all right. There hasn't been a scat near the picket line for 3 days.
And you know why? Because the company knows they can starve us out. Even if it takes them another 2 or 3 months. What's it to them if the mine shut down a little longer?
It's a lot to them. They do anything to open that mine.
They've got other mines. You don't see the larger picture. They've got millions. Millions. They can outlast us, and they know it.
You mean you are ready to give up?
Who said anything about giving up? I'll never go back to that company on my knees. Never.
You want to go down fighting, is that it? I don't want to go down fighting. I want to win. Come, we are not getting weaker. We are stronger than ever before. They are getting weaker. They thought they could break our picket line, and they failed. And now they can't win unless they pull up something big and pull it up fast.
Like what?
I don't know. But I can feel it coming. It's like a lull before a storm. Charlie Vidal says.
Charlie Vidal says. Don't throw Charlie Vidal up to me.
Charlie's my friend. I need friends. Why are you so afraid to have me as your friend?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, you don't. Have you learned nothing from this strike? Why are you afraid to have me at your side? Do you still think you can have dignity only if I have none?
Talk of dignity. After what you've been doing.
Yes, I talk of dignity. The Anglo-buses look down on you, and you hate them for it. Stay in your place, you dirty Mexican. That's what they tell you. But why must you say to me, stay in your place? Do you feel better having someone lording you?
Shut up. You're talking crazy.
Whose neck shall I stand on to make me feel superior? And what will I have out of it? I don't want anything lower than I am. I am low enough already. I want to rise and to push everything up with me as I go.
Will you be still?
And if you can't understand this, you are a fool. Because you can't win this strike without me. You can't win anything without me. That would be the old way. Never try it on me again. Never. I'm going to bed now. Sleep where you please, but not with me.
Fuck. Yes.
So they had a little taste of what it's like to be a woman. They ran away.
With Ramon, it's pride. I spoke out of the bitterness in me, and he was hurt.
Anything worth learning is a hurt. These changes come with pain. For other husbands, too. Not just Ramon.
You mean you are ready to give up? I don't want to go down fighting. I want to win.
That's such a good line. That's such a good line.
Have you learned nothing from this strike? Ramon, we are not getting weaker. We are stronger than ever before. They are getting weaker. I can feel it coming. It's like a lull before a storm. And now they can't win unless they pull out something big and put it up fast.
Brothers, we've got to go back.
Esperanza, where's Ramon? Did he go hunting with the others?
Where? Where can we find him, do you know?
No.
Deer hunters. Deserters, that's what they are.
Something's wrong? Charlie, tell us.
The company has an eviction order.
Eviction! Eviction! En la casa de Quintero! Eviction! ¿Dónde? En la casa de Quintero! Eviction! 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 Eviction!
Don't worry. Quintero's gone hunting with the others. Evict him first, the rest will be easy. Let their neighbors watch. It'll scare some sense into them.
Can't we do something?
All right, girls, get back, get back.
Eviction of the Quintero place. All right, let's go. Hey, wait.
Pay any attention to him. Go back and get the rest of the stuff.
This is what we've been waiting for.
What are you saying?
This means they have given up trying to break our picket line. Now we can all fight together. All of us. Go get the police, pick up the stuff.
Go, Fritz, come on.
Bring it all back in, boys. Bring it all back in, boys and girls.
Now, see here, Quintero. These women are obstructing justice. You make 'em behave, savvy?
I can't do nothing, Sheriff. You know how it is. They won't listen to a man anymore.
You want me to lock 'em up again?
You want them in your lockup again?
Keep 'em out of the yard.
Hey, the guys from the open pit.
Yeah, and the guys from the mill.
Solidarity forever, baby. This is what we need back, dog. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Got any more ideas?
I don't make policy. I'll talk to New York. I think maybe we'd better settle this thing. For the present.
We did not know then we had won the strike. And yet, our hearts were full. And when Ramon said,
Thanks, sisters and brothers. Esperanza, thank you. You were right. Together, we can push everything up with us as we go.
then I knew we had won something they could never take away. Something I could leave my children. And they, the salt of the earth, would inherit it.
Damn, what a good movie. Fuck. That was awesome. The professional cast. That's interesting. That they're separating them out like that. But of course it's all the white guys. Oh, Rosario Veltes. I guess that makes sense that the leading lady would be a professional cast member. Yeah, those two didn't really seem like professional actors, if I'm being honest. Although, Wanja Khan did a really good job, actually, I think. Oh, and Henrietta Williams was great. She was great. She was pretty decent. I thought she did a pretty good job. Virginia Jenks did a really good job, actually. I like this guy too. Oh my god, they were actually married. That's crazy. Joe Morales. He was alright. I think Ernest Vasquez was a little bit better, but this guy was okay. He was fine. This guy was interesting. He did a pretty good job of portraying this, like, scab. I mean, weird. It's kind of weird they didn't do more with that of it, but, like, you know. Honestly, not awful child actors. I like this character. This is an interesting guy. Only 13 theaters in the country willing to show this film. That unfortunately sounds about right, yeah. And other brothers and sisters of Mine Mill Local 890. Oh, actual Union boys in here. Oh, and girls. Oh, what a good movie. Damn. Good movie. Fuck. This is every time I see a good movie, I just have to start going like, damn, fuck after it. Wow. Good. But of course, you know we're not stopping there. We've got a couple of things to continue with. And let's continue with the labor theming. Where is it? Where did I put it? Ah, Steel, a Symphony. I think this is a little louder, so I'm going to turn it down just so this is slightly. There we go. That's more appropriate. That other movie was really quiet for some reason. This is from 1936. So let's learn a little bit about the steel industry. My favorite alloy. True. It's a good alloy. The joke here is that alloy kind of sounds like ally. Is this a silent? Is this like no narration? Steel. Okay, yeah, I guess so. I hope the music is public domain then. Steel. Oop. A little bit of a time warp there. That's a really cool shot, actually. God, the maneuvering of giant pieces of steel is incredible. Unfortunately, this seems to be much more focused on steel as a commodity than steel as a labor industry. The focus in camera is always the steel products and not the people making it. I think this is an advertisement from the steel industry itself rather than a, any sort of labor thing. To meet a nation's need for steel, see, Iron ore. Coal. That's the two things you need. Limestone. I guess you need that too. coke. I thought coke was just a type of something you did with coal, like you
The
manufactured it.
nation's history is far more a record of
Oh,
victory
narration.
than a saga of wars waged and battles won. Its greatness lies in glowing furnaces and smoking stacks, in skilled labor, inventive genius, and the spirit of enterprise.
Almost 3
that
minutes
is so
in, the
typical
narration
of America.
comes.
And typical of the steel industry, literally the backbone of 1,000 industries, is the panorama that reveals the magnitude of any one of the major mills where the manufacture of steel involves a tremendous investment. Here, before a worker can be given a job, the company by which he is employed has an average of more than $11,000 for each man employed, and that does not include wages. Incidentally,
What?
note one unusual feature of this industrial scene, which would not be found in any other country in the world. The automobiles are all work in the mills.
Oh.
Men who are now age rate in the history of the
I
industry.
guess it was the 30s.
Into such a center of activity, the raw materials are poured from train and ship. Thousands of tons of coal for the blast furnaces, mountains of iron ore, and
Well, there's a lot of
vast
skips
quantities
in
of
this one.
limestone. They are charging a furnace, ore from which the iron is to be melted, coke to provide an intense heat in the base of the furnace as a superheated air blast passes through it, limestone to flux the impurities from the ore.
Okay, that's what the limestone's for.
Up to the top goes the laden Larry to feed one of these giants that may eat up as much as 3,000 tons of solid raw materials a day. Now they are preparing to tap a furnace at the base, where they may draw off as much as 100 tons of molten iron at a time. An oxygen torch burns into a clay-plugged hole, but no chance for injury on this job. That asbestos suit and helmet will protect any stray sparks or spatters.
No chance for injury. Use asbestos.
A thin stream of metal begins to flow, glowing liquid iron. The stream swells in volume, a fiery river if you ever saw one. But you, as an uninitiated onlooker, could not be expected to know that these men in charge are very much in command. With modern mechanical devices and highly developed safety measures that enable them to control the flowing metal with less danger to themselves than you face every day in your home or on the street.
Well, this is
Today,
back
the
when
immense steel
you were
mill
cleaning
is
things
as
with
safe a place
gasoline,
to
so you
work
know.
as any industrial establishment. In fact, company after company has prided itself on winning safety trophies, which stand for a prolonged period without a single serious accident.
I'm sure.
A sample of the metal will be cast into a small block and cooled for a quick analysis by the metallurgical laboratory to check its quality. Meanwhile, the flaming river is directed through channels which lead to the edge of the tapping floor, where it spills into huge ladles resting on flat cars. Ladle after ladle is filled until finally the laden train is on its way across the yard to its destination, the steel-making departments, where the molten iron in the ladles will be poured into a large container called a mixer,
Those are
holding many
huge.
tons, and here kept hot so that it can be used in its molten state in one of the three
Fuck,
major
all those
processes
sparks,
in making
dude.
steel.
The splashing liquid metal. Fuck.
Of these,
Yeah!
the Bessemer converter process is the oldest for producing a tonnage product available at low cost for a multitude of uses. Here stand the operators in safety behind shatterproof glass.
Yeah?
Number 3 is going to pour. One of the monsters, like a huge egg with the top sliced off, tips over on its trunnions and pours into a ladle its load of steel that glows like the sunset and shoots millions
Stings
of
like the
sparks
bee.
through the dim traceries of girders and all down the length of the arena. Very different from the spectacular Bessemer is the squat little electric furnace, which makes special steels because of its smaller capacity and the ease with which it can be controlled so accurately.
So accurately.
From this process come the high-grade alloy steels, such as stainless and all sorts of special steels with special qualities.
All right.
And then there are the open hearths. While the roaring flame and fireworks from Bessemer converters still provide a thrilling spectacle, and capacity for
they sure
producing
do.
steel in the electric furnace has been increasing in the last few years, 90% of steel today is produced in open hearth furnaces because of the demand for tailor-made steels in large quantities, which can be produced with this flexible and efficient method.
I
And
doubt
by
that's
the
the
way,
case anymore.
There is one interesting factor in the making of steel, just as important as the virgin iron, fresh from ore smelted in the blast furnace. It is scrap. Most of the scrap metal will be found en route to the open hearth department. Remelted scrap steel constituting about 50% of the total steel produced today. There's a carload of sheared ends. There's another. And there's a car that may hold all that is left of your
That's so much scrap
1929
metal.
automobile, now on its way to become part of a steel, and a better steel, perhaps
1929?
for your next car. In this huge
That's only 7
structure,
years old.
the open hearth floor, which is typical of American steel mills,
This is not
a long line of
too
furnaces holds
early
steel
for a
in the
car.
making.
Especially an early
Steel
car.
that will someday enter your life, perhaps carry you safely on some
Holy
journey,
scrap.
provide you with shelter, create an endless variety of
scrap?
comforts and conveniences. A supply of finely ground dolomite has been piled before the furnace that is to be
Dolomite.
charged. It will melt like glass and fill any holes that may have been burned through the lining by the previous heat, forming a solid bottom for the fresh charge. Then the charging begins. From the trainload of scrap which has been brought close to the furnace, an electric charging machine lifts box after box and pushes its burden through the door of the furnace. The operator sitting at a safe distance, spinning the ram and dumping its load. There is the rumble of a giant traveling crane overhead, moving in with its burden. A huge ladle of molten iron from the mixer, where it has been awaiting this final step in the process of becoming steel.
It's go time.
They are placing the chute into position for pouring the charge. And as the crane draws near, note that the men actually handling the metal are either sheltered high up on the crane in the cab or operate electrical controls across the floor.
I'm noticing, yeah.
There goes the charge. 50 tons of white-hot liquid metal heated to approximately 2,800 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's a lot.
Hazardous? Frightful danger in this job? Not at all.
Really?
Millions of dollars have been spent by modern steel mills of America for safety. Devices are employed which not only protect the worker from molten metal, from metallic dust and from flying chips, but also from human carelessness.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Of steel production has made work simpler and safer. Men are not doing dangerous jobs that the machine can do more safely, but more men and more competent men are required to control the machine.
They're
And the
really
safety
trying to convince you
achievement
to
of
work
the
at a steel mill,
industry
huh?
Is a high tribute to the intelligence of these men who work in the mills. Like good cooks, they must know the temperature of the brew.
They're
and
chefing
they
it
measure
up.
it on an optical parameter while it boils in a white-hot pool as big as a fair-sized room. And like good cooks, they even take several samples of the brew using a long-handled small ladle to pick up enough liquid steel to cast a test ingot. It congeals almost instantly and is soon dumped out and handled quite readily. When it is cooled, it will go to the metallurgical laboratory for a thorough but quick examination before the metal from which it was taken is drawn off to be made into steel.
Yumma yumma.
Thousands of
Big
different
flavor.
kinds of steels are made like this every day. Each steel, strange as it may seem,
I'm
a
inventing new
custom-built
steel.
product. Each different steel, the filling of a prescription, to be of a certain hardness, to be soft,
To bear certain, to
flexible,
be of a certain
dull,
hardness.
bright, to be tailor-made
good.
for each one of
We love
thousands of
skips.
uses. Now they are ready to tap a big one, and they must reach across to the opposite side of the furnace to break through the clay plug tapping hole from the inside. But the place to see the spectacular part of the operation is on the other side of the open hearth furnaces, where an asbestos-clothed worker burns through the exterior of the
More
clay plug tap
asbestos.
hole with an oxygen torch. A few more ramming blows with a long tapping iron, and there she flows. 200 tons of steel produced according to specifications for one of an infinite variety of uses. Just the proper percentages of carbon and other elements are retained in every heat of steel so that it will possess the exact characteristics needed. Men on the platform will shovel in the correct amounts of spiegel, ferromanganese, ferrosilicon, or whatever agent the metallurgical laboratory has prescribed for this particular heat of metal. Higher and higher it mounts in the great ladle, until the slag, the undesirable portion of the charge, rises to the top like froth and overflows to find a future usefulness as a byproduct in other lines of business. The electric crane moves into line to carry the ladle to the pouring platform, where a train of cars bearing the ingot molds is waiting. When this molten metal has been poured into molds, the basic business of making steel is ended. Thereafter, it is only a matter of fashioning from the ingots the form of product desired. The steel man says that this fiery liquid freezes immediately in the mold. He means that it congeals when its temperature goes down 1,000 degrees or so, and within an hour is frozen too hard on the outside for rolling. Thus, it is not of a uniform consistency. So after the molds are stripped from the ingots, weighing from 5 to 15 tons apiece, the huge castings are hauled away to a furnace called a soaking pit, in which they are heated until of the same temperature throughout, and which holds them at exactly the right heat for the anvil of the modern blacksmith, the rolling mill. Now this steel is fairly on its way to you, because in this one chunk of white-hot metal, there may be thousands of cans, kitchen utensils, or perhaps the materials for automobile bodies, refrigerators, and innumerable things in everyday use. And this universal use of steel is possible because its cost is only 2 or 3
crazy
cents
watching
a
that
pound.
giant piece of molten steel just tumbling around,
metal.
throwing white-hot cinders all over the place.
Mill made it possible to provide sheet steel wide enough for the all-steel automobile body and the one-piece steel top on the models of today. It is one of the many great advances in the art of steel making, which has brought a saving to the consuming public in the form of lower prices for better steel, amounting to nearly $300 million a year, compared with costs of 10 years ago. Automobile users alone are saving $75 million a year.
Damn, that's crazy.
But in spite of more men are needed in the mills, and employment is now at the highest level in the industry's history.
Wow.
There goes that ingot you saw, now a hot slab, flattened and elongated, on its way to further reduction. Now reduced by further rolling to the size of armor plate. And now becoming a huge strip, several feet wide and less than 1/4 of an inch thick. It moves to the table where it will await its turn in the coiling machine. Coiled hot, it is subsequently cold rolled flat after passing through an acid cleansing bath. 2 processes which vastly improve the smoothness and polish of the surface before it is cut into the lengths prescribed by the factory to which it is to be delivered.
Wow.
In general, only the rarer metals such as gold or platinum have ever offered much resistance to corrosive attack until the steel industry developed stainless steels which have made this metal practical for an endless variety of uses wherein it combines beauty with resistance to rust and corrosion. Look at that polish.
Wow.
A permanent mirror-like surface, perhaps destined for some swanky cocktail bar or the kitchen of a modern home.
Yeah, man.
Here is an operation which constitutes in itself a critical test of steel, the piercing of a solid billet to form a seamless tube.
There's a seamless tube.
And here is another interesting operation, also a critical test of steel, the making of a car wheel. The wheel must retain its specification factors of strength and ability to take it when subsequently it will be pounding over the rails. On another mill, a big ingot begins to take form with a first rough rolling, becoming elongated as it passes through another roll, and then assuming a familiar shape as we see the outline of an H column, destined for some skyscraper or perhaps a great steel bridge. The operators of the mill, up there above it and completely shut off from the heat of that white-hot steel, turn it, spin it around, roll it by pressing buttons or throwing levers, and finally
Yeah, that's the
deliver it
crazy
at the
part to
far
me is
end
they're
of
just
the
kind of
mill,
throwing it
a
around.
completely finished job. Steels pass through various mill processes or combinations of processes in order to make them suited to a wide variety
That's just
of uses.
crazy, dude.
In any
Fuck.
giant ladle of molten metal, there may be steel that is destined to defeat time and distance, to provide the framework of mighty buildings, and to enter into the daily life of every citizen in thousands of things that provide comfort and convenience with economy. The call for steel from every section of America is a demand for a basic material without which life and living standards as we know them today would be impossible. Steel has kept pace with and anticipated the increasing needs of the nation.
Which is why you should pay your workers appropriately.
Men and steel provide a nation with its comforts, its luxuries, and its progress.
Oh, that's a clever little shot. Okay, it's ad break time yet again. We're going to go real quick because we're not done yet. We're going to go ad break and be right back.
A monster that rips and tears, hungry for flesh, a ravenous creature human eyes have never seen before. And it's coming up from the depths. Rated R under 17, not admitted without parents.
And we're back for a couple more shorts before we head out. First up, we learned how to defend our job with a union, but we gotta learn how to keep it too. Thank you, Coronet, from 1949. Hi, Sarge. Ready to watch some shorts? Yeah, you can follow Sarge and then watch as they never stream, ever. Fired. You better strike. What the fuck? What the hell kind of application is that? Doing more blueprints? Ah, okay. I mean, Twitch is the second monitor website, right? So, it only makes sense. Oh my god, what is up with his face? It's square. From the side.
This looks all right. Tell me, why are you interested in this job?
I need a steady job, Mr. Wiley.
Me too.
To go places.
I see. Now, this one job you had with the Central Distributing Company. You worked there for 18 months?
Yes, sir.
Why did you leave?
Because I wasn't getting anywhere. After 18 months, I figured I was worth more than they were paying me.
True.
And I figured I was ready for promotion to more important work.
I see.
Honest, Mr. Wiley, it was a rotten company. I don't know why I stayed as long as I did.
Tell me, were you fired?
Yes, I was. But it wasn't my fault. The company just up and started firing people. Retrenching, they called it. What do you think of that?
I think it's a pretty normal situation.
Oh, yeah?
A business has to live within its income. Many factors affect that income.
I don't think that's the case,
Sales,
actually.
General economic conditions, the development of new industries that replace old ones. For these and many other reasons, businesses often go through periods of adjustment and reorganization when they're forced to let people go.
I didn't do anything. Why me?
You said that in 18 months you hadn't gotten anywhere.
That's right. Other fellows who started later were promoted right over my head.
How much warning do you need? Couldn't you see the company valued the other fellow's services above yours?
But I thought I was doing fine. What did I do?
Do you expect me to answer that?
No, sir.
What the fuck?
I guess you wouldn't know.
Actually, I probably do know. Better than you do.
What the fuck?
I have no business.
What a condescending
this,
man.
But, well, I can't help thinking you might really amount to something if you'd set your mind to it. Try to
I'm your
see
dad
yourself
now.
as your employer saw you. Better still, let me give you a picture of a case I really do know. It's about a young man who came to work in our shipping room here, and another young man. Now, we begin work here at 8:30. That's the time to begin this business of keeping a job.
Whoa.
And that's the time Bob Addison began work every day. We could depend on him to be on time and to do his work on time. You might call him an eager beaver. But look at it from the employer's point of view.
I don't want
Wouldn't
to.
you like to have Bob working for you?
He seems like a bit of an
Dependability is
eager
one of the
beaver to
main
me. He's never going to make it in the union.
and getting ahead.
I bet he
Now,
scabs.
dependability includes a willingness to work. Some of the work in our shipping room is hard work. That's why we've always had two fellows working there.
What a weakling.
So, two fellows who were supposed to be working. The other fellow I want to tell you about is Walter, Bob's brother. Bob's twin brother. But the resemblance is only skin deep.
And they're also twins with
Look
you.
at Walter from the employer's point of view, and you see how not to keep a job. Look at him from Bob's point of view, and you see how not to get along with your fellow workers. On the other hand, Bob would be popular wherever he worked. You know he would do his share of the work and help others who needed help.
Cooperation is another way to keep a job.
Organizing, potentially, even. Maybe.
Walter finally decides to go to work, but a job he was supposed to do first thing. Actually, he was supposed to run them off the evening before, but he put it off. This is how not to be dependable, how not to cooperate with the company and with your fellow workers in your own and other departments. Poor Walter. Who should come into the shipping room but me?
Me.
The boss
The
always
boss.
seems to find out. Walter's manner gave him away. Now, it isn't hard to learn to make good, clean copies on a duplicating machine. And this wasn't the first time I'd had to criticize Walter for making poor copies. And it wasn't the first time he tried to alibi his way out of a situation. The fact was, Walter just couldn't take criticism. Yet how can a man expect to improve on a job if he won't listen to the very people who can help him? Just before closing time, you'll find Bob getting the shipping room ready for the night.
What a fucking nerd. Someone should shove him in a locker.
And you'll find Walter getting himself ready, so he won't be a second late punching the clock. An employer sees this
That's the correct way
as
to
a
do.
sure sign that a man isn't really interested in his work.
Those are turned off, Sarge.
If you were the
It's
employer
movie time.
and had to cut down your staff, which fellow would you keep?
That's not hard to answer. But why didn't you go ahead and fire this, Walter?
Now, don't be too hasty.
It's movie time.
I'm only telling you about Walter's bad points. He did enough work to hang on to his job. As long as times are good, there'll be jobs for fellows who just barely do enough to get by. But to keep a job when the going gets rough, you need to insure your job. Make yourself so valuable your employer can't let you go. We've talked about dependability and cooperation. Now, another prime quality is initiative. And for once, I have something good to say for Walter. It's not hard to understand why he was unhappy whenever shipments were left just inside the door. The packages had to be hauled all the way across the room for wrapping, then hauled back again when they went out. If you don't like the way things are done, you can spend a lot of time complaining about it. That was Walter's usual way. But this time, he got an idea, and he knew what to do with it. In every company, there's plenty of room for improvement, and the management usually welcomes suggestions from employees.
Do they?
Walter's idea was a practical one, so we adopted it. The company benefits through time saved and less handling of packages. The fellows in the shipping room benefit through having one of their harder jobs made easier. And Walter improved his standing with his employer by his display of initiative. But one good mark isn't enough.
So we
One
fired
day,
his
not
ass
long
and killed
after,
him.
Walter was taking advantage of a lull in the work, and Bob was bringing the shipping records up to date when...
What you got there? Shipment for you. Wise guy. Well, finally. The stuff they've been running in here asking about every hour for the last 3 days. Sign here. That's the way it is in this company. They wait till they've run out of something, and everybody runs around like crazy. No system, and nobody in charge with enough brains to start one. What
True.
a way to run a business.
Get their asses.
You don't like the company, why do you work for it? Me, I work for a swell outfit. I'm proud of them.
Maybe I'd like to work for them. Could they use me?
What for? A press agent?
Got his ass.
Yes, Walter found out that nobody thinks very much of a man who talks against the company he works for.
What the fuck? No, that's not true. Fuck off.
Nothing, except trouble for himself if it got back to his employer, which it did.
Which it did, and then I fired his ass and killed
The
him.
way I was talking to you about the place where I used to work.
Well, there's a saying, if the shoe fits.
Oh, the shoe fits all right. You knew it would, didn't you? Yep, I could see my shortcomings all over the place. Dependability, initiative, cooperation, and loyalty. I could have done a lot better on every count.
You can do better. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Shut up. Yes, sir.
Well, Bob, I've got a new assistant for you. Bob
It's your other
Anderson,
twin.
This is Ed Blakesley.
Hi, Ed. Glad to meet you.
Bob's a good man to watch. As soon as he trains somebody to take over here, he's moving up to assistant purchasing manager.
Say, that's great. Mr. Wiley's been telling me about you and your brother.
My brother?
Yeah, your twin brother, Walter.
I had a point to make, so I invented a twin brother for you. You see, in this twin of Bob's, I was really describing Bob's poor conduct on the job when he first came to work here.
Oh, you mean the way I was loafing on the job around here before?
I get it. And then you...
Well, I get it.
Well,
Whoa.
if you can... Say, Mr. Wiley, did I ever tell you about my twin brother?
Awful, dude. This one was dog shit. Awful, bad, stinky. Okay. We got one more short. This one's not related to labor so much, but since we're entering into May, we're entering into spring. So I think it's time for us to get a little case of spring fever. Thank you, Library of Congress, for as long as you last. Why is it only in one audio channel?
No, I'm sorry, but Gilbert won't be able to play with you boys till later this
I'll help you guys out by making it not one audio channel for you.
He's doing some work for me.
Springs. I hope I never see another spring as long as I live.
It won't help me, but it'll help you.
Want to see another spring, eh? Okay, mister. I'll fix it so you get that wish. Who are you? The name's Coily. Coily the Spring Sprite, they call me. I heard your wish, and, well, you're going to get it. No more
Well,
springs for you.
stereophonic wasn't always a standard, but if it's not stereophonic, it should be in mono. It shouldn't be in stereophonic in one channel. Me when I take one too many goofball. Damn you, Coily.
No springs.
He mocks us so. That was really good. Just the a man cursed to a life of no springs. You know, Twilight Zone got really weird later on.
Hey! The door!
Damn, dude.
No springs.
He's powerful.
No springs. springs, my friend, no springs.
He's just like, nothing work. No, why nothing work? Why am I cursed to no springs? I made one errant wish.
Oh, gee, Coily, I didn't realize what I was wishing. I'm sorry for everything I said. Can't we call the whole thing off? Isn't there anything I can do? Please let me take back my wish.
Well, okay. I'll do it just this once. But next time, be careful. Don't ever make that wish again.
What a capricious god. Springs are back and better than ever. Well, don't sit in it right there like that. No, come on. You gotta repair it first.
You see, fellows, the scientific principle of a spring is to absorb energy and then to release it.
I'm now an expert. I learned everything there is to know about it in the time between when I called and when we started playing.
Too bad, Joe.
Yeah.
Ah, my window.
Nice shot.
Yes, it was. But if it wasn't for the amount of spring in the club shaft, combined with the spring of the rubber inside the ball, that drive wouldn't have gone anywhere at all.
He's so
You
spring-pilled.
see, all spring action depends on elasticity, the ability of material to return to its original form after it's been forced out of shape. You know, like the action of a springboard. And when you stop to think about it, even the ground, the earth is like a huge spring.
Oh,
it has
man.
the ability to absorb a blow and then
He's gonna kill
transmit
him.
a shot from one point
Kill,
to another.
death,
and that's
dead.
exactly what a spring is supposed to do. Transmit shot from one point to another.
Okay, but let's get on with the game.
You don't realize the number of springs that work for us every day. Why, there's a little spring in your cigarette lighter, and the spring in your pencil clip, and the huge springs that cushion the railroad trains. Why, I could name thousands of everyday uses for springs.
Why don't you? Let's start right now.
I never realized until lately that springs have such a universal use. Why, there's springs in mouse traps, guns, exercisers,
Drugs are like that too.
pogo sticks. Why, it's practically impossible to name a single thing in which some sort of spring isn't essential, in one way or another. Up there, for instance.
Springs are his special interest.
It's got a set of absorbers on the wheels that depend on heavy springs controlled by a hydraulic arrangement. When the ship lands...
Me when I see an airplane, you know what the most wondrous thing about that plane is? The springs.
And as far as an automobile is concerned, why, I wouldn't even attempt to tell you how many various kinds of springs are used, in addition to the springs and shock absorbers. Good.
Good.
The trouble with people like you guys is that just because most springs are usually hidden, you seldom think of the important part they play in the regular operation and enjoyment of our cars. For instance, just take those springs I mentioned a while ago. The springs are built under the car to provide complete riding comfort. Spiral coil springs and the knee action in front balance
See the USA
weight of the
in your
car with
Chevrolet.
springs in the rear, so that the body always rides along on an even keel.
Well,
Can you imagine what it
tries
would be
to.
like riding along a rough road like this without those special springs? And then, too, the springs in the seat and back cushions take
Me
up any
watching
other
this
little
movie.
bumps that get through to the body of the car. Yes, sir, as far as riding comfort is concerned, the tires, the cushion springs, and the special springs under the car all combine to give us a ride that can't be topped.
It's a top exclusively.
Hey, Joe, wake
It
up.
will not be a bottom.
Wake up, fellows.
Well, that didn't take long.
You played a great game, boy, but you lost. What you need is a little more spring in the old...
Very funny. You and your springs, I hope I never see another...
Stop! Don't say it. Don't ever wish anything like that as long as you live.
Or else he'll get you. He'll fucking get you. You can't do that. No! Thank you, Library of Congress, for preserving that movie. I hope you're not destroyed by the end of the day. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on International Labor Day. I hope you enjoyed this little feature presentation here. Thank you so much for joining. I had a good time. Hope you did too. Exclamation point socials. Exclamation point SoCal. No, socials gets you my website where you can find everywhere that I'm at. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Exclamation point SoCal doesn't do anything. But it might make you teleport to Southern California. Who knows? I don't think that's true, actually. Let's raid Lily. That seems like a good raid. Lily's playing something, just chatting. Cool. Oh, Claire Obscure. Oh, okay. Lily's playing Claire Obscure. We'll be playing that on Sunday night, 10 p.m. Don't miss it. I think that's going to be a fun time. But yeah, let's raid Lily. You can get a good look at the game before we play it on Sunday. And thank you so much for watching. When you get over there, be kind and courteous, as I'll ask of you. With that said, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and have a wonderful rest of your night or day. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye.